Anyway, we wanted to end on that positive point before we get to a very low for you.
Oh, yeah. Very low, because I was like preaching, preaching that Portugal was gonna win the under 21 tournament. That it was gonna be the first time ever in history that a team would win the under 17, under 19, and the under 21s. But I got to give credit to Germany. Florian Wirtz, I am starting to get in. He was in my top five. Was it under 20? No, under 20
Yeah.
players that we
Yeah.
did at the start. And Florian Wirtz is understandably one of the best talents coming up.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say Germany won the under 21 tournament in 2009 with Ozil, in 2017 with Gnabry, and now in 2021 with Florian Wirtz. So it's the passing on the torch of a superstars. They're coming
Yeah.
up in this Germany system.
And before I ask you what went wrong with Portugal, I got to say some things about Germany too. This is a team that 9 months ago during qualifying they got beat hard by Belgium. Okay, 4-1 I think it was, and I believe the coach afterwards, Stefan Kuntz, came out and he basically said, this is a weak age group. These are not my guys. This is not that good, Okay, and that's not word for word, so don't quote me on that. But he basically said that it's very unlikely that they have the quality to win the Euros, let alone qualify for it. Now that could have been a motivational tactic, right? Because they kicked on from there, and you have to look across that roster and across that 11. And you see Nico Schlotterbeck, who had a monstrous game against Portugal. I think he had 8 clearances. He was pretty much all over the place. I mean, him and Amos Pieper, I don't know how to say his last name. They were pretty good throughout the knockout rounds, and they formed a really good center back. They kind of knew what was going on with each other. And then you've got their kind of talisman in the middle, beyond Beards, was Nicholas Dorsch.
Okay.
This is a Bayern cast-off. Okay, he did not, impress at Bayern. He then went, I believe, to Heidenheim, who is now they're in the Bundesliga, but they weren't in the Bundesliga when he was there. And then he just moved over to Ghent, who had a pretty bad year in the Belgian league. But these are all guys that absolutely should take the next step up. Nothing against Freiburg, where Schlotterbeck plays. Nothing against Ghent, where Dorsch plays. But these are guys that you see something there in a team setup. These guys could really take that next step up, and I think they will after this tournament. But Dorsch, in my opinion, was probably I don't think he was actually voted best player of the entire tournament. I could be wrong.
That was no. The best player of the tournament was Fabio Vieira.
Right, Fabio Vieira. But I think Dorsch would have been an easy second place. He's been very good for them.
The man of the match against Portugal, and I gotta say it, I was triggered because Abdou Conte couldn't stop Baku.
No,
this right back is but you warned me. Yeah. You warned not me. You warned us, everyone that's listening on the podcast before the tournament even started, that this Baku is a threat, and she was lethal. I think he has the most assists in the competition. And man of the match against Portugal, what a player. Another player I'd like to highlight was Diogo Costa. Portugal didn't win, but Diogo Costa made sure we didn't win by 3 or 4. He saved so many balls. Diogo Costa, what a hero. If you're listening to this, you're a hero. And I'd like to highlight too Fabio Vieira. Yeah. Fabio Vieira and Vitinha, obviously, too. But I'm gonna talk about Vitinha in the next topic. But Fabio Vieira. So right now he's in he's gonna enter his last year of contract at Porto. And we need to see the situation as it is. So this summer we might see Fabio Vieira leaving Porto. Because or he extends his contract or he leaves. And another player leaving for 10-15 million with this amount of quality, UEFA Youth League winner at Porto, that shows a problem. That is a problem. Porto needs to know how to use these youngsters at Olival. Tomás Teves. Like, I want to see Tomás Teves next season playing at Porto. I don't know. I think he can do it. I watched some games at Reading. But Fabio Vieira, what's going to happen? I think the Bundesliga would be a really good league for him. Even the Prem, maybe. Wolves.
Okay.
It's not crazy. Ajax. He's that type of player. Technically gifted. Really good roaming. He can be everywhere. He can go on the wing. He's a bit like Foden in that type of sense. He's very, very good. Wow. And I'd like to highlight too Arne Meyer, the midfielder. He got 100% pass accuracy against Portugal. Important passes were made during that game. Yeah. And I think he's an Arminia B-field player. So underrated. He's off the radar for a lot of clubs, I think. So watch out. He's good. He's good.
Right. But speaking about off the radar, that is something we got to bring up here. In that German lineup, there was not a Bayern Munich player. There was not a Dortmund player. There was not a Red Bull Leipzig player. You had your most high-profile players were probably Wirtz, right, at Leverkusen, and Baku at Wolfsburg, who had a phenomenal, just an amazing year. So that just goes to show you that these there's a team sense there that it goes beyond. I don't know.
We could have seen Nuno Mendes there, João Felix there, Jamal Musiala there, Youssoufa Moukoko there. So the amount of talent we still could have seen in this tournament. We live in a special generation now. These players are studs at such a young age. I forgot to mention this in the Euros section, but I can mention it here. Diogo Dalot being called up to the first team. Big blow, João Cancelo not being in Portugal's lineup anymore. But Diogo Dalot, I'm not gonna say he's the same level because he isn't right now. But is he a player that I think Portugal would see in 5 years' time in the selection? Yes. Do I think he's going to mature with this experience? Yes. So, I think Ricardo Pereira, I don't know how he's right now coming back from injury, how he's feeling. But if Ricardo Pereira was fully fit, I think he should have got the pick. Yeah. But if he was doubtful, good pick with Diogo Dalot. I would pick Diogo Dalot ahead of Cedric too. Yeah, I would have picked him.
Something I just have to bring up here. From João Cancelo to Dejan Kulusevski to Matthias Svanberg to Sergio Busquets, we are still talking about COVID now. I mean, the fact of the matter is that they didn't mandate essentially vaccinations heading into this tournament, and you've just got some real talent either heading home for the tournament or we're waiting on further news about whether Dejan can actually play, but he's going to miss the first game. He will miss
the Portuguese team was vaccinated. Like, I think some teams are vaccinating the teams.
Yeah, and also with the Spanish team after the Busquets, right? They had that like satellite parallel 11 that was in another bubble, and then they had the army come in to vaccinate them. But you remember what it was like to get vaccinated, right? I mean,
true. Yeah.
You don't feel the same right away. It takes a little while, so it's going to be interesting to see how it affects. But it just sucks that we're even still talking about it for this, and that we're going to miss out on a Cancelo who was phenomenal. I mean,
fantastic goal against Israel. What a goal! Yeah. So that's the Under-21 tournament wrapped up. It was a fantastic tournament. Like, even with the Portuguese loss, you can hear it in my voice. So